I probably shouldn't have entered that dark, mysterious-looking portal. Maybe I should Oh, the portal is gone now. I guess I'm stuck here. This is kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. This was a really bad idea. Maybe I should stay put? I have a funny feeling like I'm about to be killed. Hello, my little roses. Welcome to this video. So recently, I have been quite hooked onto a series known as Welcome to Dreamworld, made by a lovely person named Rainbot. Some of you guys are here because you guys are fans of Welcome to Dreamworld. However, for fans of mine who were here before the Dreamworld video, or just needs a quick rundown, here's what the series is about. Welcome to Dreamworld is a video series on YouTube. The bulk of the videos being centered around a guy named Wyatt Nichols and the hacked employee training videos. Wyatt is a worker at Dreamworld, and he violates a couple rules regarding the animatronics and ends up befriending them. The employee training videos show things that the employees need to know, however they bug out occasionally, and the glitches contain hidden lore. Sometimes, they also throw in a couple of other clips such as a news report of a fire in episode 1 and Oliver's recording right before he died in episode 2. Welcome to Dreamworld is a small series with a ton of lore. Sometimes it gets a little confusing, so today I will be trying my best to put together a timeline for the story so far and attempt to solve a couple mysteries along the way. So buckle up, roses, we're going on a little trip. Let's start at the earliest known event for this story, Sarah's backstory. In episode 2, we are given a story about a little kid who is lonely and often bullied. One day, they got lost in a forest and were cornered by their bullies. Wanting to get out of this situation, they decide to push one of the bullies off a cliff. Then they brutally murder the other two and leave the scene. The person was never discovered, and then they try to grow up with a normal life. Eventually, they end up working for a business, and their business partner pushes them over the edge, which results in them getting killed. I believe that this is Sarah's backstory, and I think that Sarah has gone back into killing, which segues into the next big event. So, assuming that the story we heard in episode 2 was Sarah's, then at first it seems like Lewis was the first person she kills. He's the one that people knew of his death, the ones following being known as missing. And in the notes that Oliver records, the evidence lines up. He ended up causing Eric's death by accident, and it seems like more died after him. However, there is one small detail that sets this whole theory off. At the end of episode 1, we have the news report of a forest fire. When it cuts to Lewis's house, which was burning because of the forest fire, the news reporter says that Lewis was not home at the time of the fire, and that if anyone was home, it was unknown. But if you listen closely, you can hear someone faintly screaming in the background. Even if Lewis was home, and the news reporter didn't know, then who he possessed doesn't make sense. We know that Ribbon Dancer is possessed by whoever died in the fire, since Rex says that Ribbon Dancer is afraid of fires, and Rex said that he mentioned something about a house in the forest. But Lewis is possessing Starlight, since they both call people darling, as well as acting the same. So Lewis could not be the victim of the house fire. Lewis was not the fourth kill Sarah had. But then, who was? Who could have been burning in the fire? Well, next I considered Eric. Eric was mentioned in the notes to have seen Starlight before going into Lewis's house and was found there dead. But again, there's evidence that goes against this. Quite a lot, actually. He had a note to Sarah telling her about finding out that she killed Lewis. If Eric knew that Sarah killed Lewis, then how would he have been the first one to die? Also, it says that his body was found in Lewis's house. But in the voiceover of the news report, the person says that no body was found in the fire. Eric cannot be the fourth kill. So who else is there? What other option we have? Well, personally, I believe that Mike is the first victim tied into Dreamworld. Admittedly, there is no solid evidence to back this theory up, other than Alyssa asking if he was fired since he's no longer on the employee records, but that's not really solid evidence, that's just him going missing. But so far he's what I think is the best candidate, so now we know who was Sarah's fourth kill as well as fifth and sixth. So now what's next? Well, I assume that Sarah now knew that something was up with the animatronics. After all, how would Eric have talked to Lewis? And Sarah does find out that Lewis is possessing Starlight. She figures out how, and I believe that this is when she places the ban on people talking to the animatronics. I suppose to prevent another Eric problem. Now, with the animatronics to herself, she realizes that she could possibly become immortal if she attached her soul energy onto an animatronic. But not everything is smooth sailing, unfortunately, for Sarah. When people go missing, others are going to ask about it, like Alyssa, who asked about Mike, or Carly, who asked about Eric, which would then result with Sarah killing more people to avoid answering questions. I think that Sarah killed Carly, and Carly went on to possess Glory. I also think that Alyssa somehow manages to avoid Sarah's first attempt to kill her for the time being and becomes a voiceover in the news report. I think that Alyssa then died after knowing more about Sarah and the deaths and possesses Cheer. The only animatronics we'd have left if that was the case would be Lolly, Pop, and the 3 little animatronics. Fast forward a little bit to when Sarah wants to kill Oliver. Oliver just got a little too close to finding out the truth than Sarah was comfortable with and decided to kill him. Oliver dies by the TV trap and possesses an animatronic, right? Wrong. I think that Oliver actually went on to possess the company computers. Let's go back to the beginning of episode 2, when we discover that Rainbot is canon to the Dreamworld universe. In the beginning segment, we learned that Rainbot had somehow gotten a hold of Dreamworld's videos and is ruining their reputation. Dreamworld Entertainment accuses Rainbot of hacking them. However, I think that Rainbot is a little confused at that statement, and if Rainbot was confused, then they didn't hack into Dreamworld Entertainment. So how exactly would have Rain gotten into those videos? I think that if Oliver possessed the company computers, then he would have sent out the Dreamworld videos to random people as an attempt to expose Dreamworld Entertainment. Oliver just happened to get lucky and his videos ended up going to Rain, who decided to publish these videos online. A minute or two later into the episode, when Wyatt is recording, we hear Audrey, who is one of the workers at Dreamworld, say that the office computers keep showing images of the founders, as well as files getting corrupted. Later on into the episode, we hear the computer screens are turning red and that the cameras are buggy. Here I think Oliver is trying to communicate to anyone about the things going on behind the scenes in Dreamworld. He is also aware of Wyatt talking to the animatronics, and I think that Oliver is making the cameras buggy so that Sarah has a hard time catching Wyatt with the animatronics. Sarah at some point discovers Oliver in the company computers and tries to stop him from getting the secret out. I think the red screens are Sarah's attempt to disable him from doing anything. Oliver died right before opening, and so opening day arrives. On opening day, an accident occurs. However, what the accident isn't very clear in the story. We only hear it being briefly mentioned and then it is never brought up again. So what exactly is the accident? Well, I think that the accident has something to do with Liz and Ben. Back in the notes, we see a lot of notes from different people. Most of these people are dead or theorized to be dead, and Wyatt is possibly Sarah's next victim. That leaves Liz and Ben, the oddballs of the notes. All we really know about them is that they are Oliver's younger siblings and they love the haunted house level, as well as Ben scaring the younger kids. It's kind of a weird detail to just have them there. Why would Sarah want a note on them? Unless she planned on killing them and they become important to the story. And I think that's exactly what happened. That accident on opening day was no accident. I think Sarah killed both Liz and Ben and they went on to possess Wally and Pop. There's not much to back this up, but that would just leave the little bots who we don't know much of and could just not be possessed. And that now brings us to the present. So in episode 1, we see that Wyatt has had his first day, and a week after, in episode 2, Dreamworld collapses. That's where we are currently with the storyline. So what's next? What else is there to the story now that we are all caught up? Well, as I have stated before, Wyatt is most likely Sarah's next target, and Sarah will try to kill Wyatt through the virus of the animatronics. If the series gets a good ending, Wyatt will not be killed and Dreamworld will be exposed. They'll get shut down and Sarah will not become immortal. The series is still in development though, and who knows when the ending comes. So much can change between now and the last episode, so for now, all we can do is just sit tight and enjoy the little show. Well folks, I think that wraps up our little video. It's all a theory, meaning that I could be very wrong. I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video. Farewell, little roses. Thanks for watching.